Stop scrolling, because Venezuela just rewrote the rules of air dominance. From American-built F-16 Fighting Falcons to Russian-made Sukhoi Su-30MK2 Flankers, this isn't just a weapons purchase. This is a nation screaming to the world, we will not be silenced. This is a saga of politics, sanctions, ambition, and survival, all playing out thousands of feet above the Caribbean. The year is 1983. The Cold War is raging at full throttle. Latin America has become a chessboard of ideologies, with Washington and Moscow moving their pieces carefully. In this high-stakes game, Venezuela emerges as a strategic ally for the United States. To solidify this alliance, the US delivers 24 brand new F-16A/B Block 15 Fighting Falcons to Caracas, a decision that shocked the region. This was no ordinary arms sale. It was a symbol, a statement. Venezuela wasn't just buying jets, it was buying into the Western sphere of influence. For Venezuelan pilots, this was a dream come true. The F-16, capable of Mach 2 speeds, advanced avionics, and unmatched maneuverability, was light years ahead of its regional rivals. Latin America had never seen anything like it. In the cockpit, pilots felt like they'd stepped into the future. Heads-up displays glowing green, Sidewinder missiles locked under their wings, and radar systems scanning for threats miles away. The fleet became a source of national pride. Venezuela wasn't just another oil-rich country, it had one of the most advanced air forces in the hemisphere. The message to its neighbors was clear: we own the skies. Then came February 4th, 1992. Caracas turned into a battlefield when Hugo Chavez led a failed coup attempt. Amid chaos, an F-16 roared over the capital, flown by Lieutenant Vielma. In a moment that would cement the F-16's legacy, Vielma shot down an OV-10 Bronco piloted by rebels. For the first time in Latin American history, an F-16 fired in combat, changing the balance of power overnight. The roar of the Falcon echoed through Caracas as civilians looked up in awe. The coup failed, Chavez was imprisoned, and the F-16 became a symbol of government power. That day wasn't just a skirmish, it was the day Venezuela proved that air superiority could decide political destiny. By 1999, Chavez was president. His rhetoric was fiery, anti-American, and unapologetically socialist. For Washington, Venezuela transformed overnight from a key ally to a dangerous wildcard. In 2006, the United States imposed a full arms embargo. No more spare parts, no technical support, no upgrades. Venezuela's once proud F-16 fleet began to rot. Mechanics became scavengers, stripping one jet to keep another flying. By the late 2000s, more than half the fleet was grounded. For Venezuelan pilots, this was devastating. Training hours plummeted. Cockpits that once hummed with technology became relics. The jet that symbolized Venezuela's air dominance was now a monument to geopolitical hostility. As Washington turned its back, Moscow extended a hand. In 2006, Venezuela signed a $1.5 billion deal for 24 Sukhoi Su-30MK2s. These jets weren't just military equipment, they were a political message. The Su-30MK2 was a game-changer. Twin engines, 2 seats, and a weapons payload triple that of the F-16. For the first time, Venezuela had an aircraft capable of challenging American naval forces in the Caribbean. Deliveries began immediately. By 2008, the first Sukhoi soared over Caracas, stunning regional observers. Despite a collapsing economy, Venezuela doubled down, ordering 12 more in 2015. The Sukhoi Su-30MK2 is more than just an aircraft, it's a flying fortress. Powered by 2 Saturn AL-31F engines, this twin-seat fighter can reach Mach 2 at high altitude and has a combat range of over 3,000 kilometers with drop tanks. The aircraft's N001 VEP radar system can track 10 targets simultaneously and guide missiles to 4 at once. This isn't just an upgrade over the F-16, it's a leap into a new era of air combat. Its weapons arsenal is designed to intimidate,
R-73 dogfight missiles, R-27 and R-77 medium-range missiles, K-29 and K-59 guided air-to-ground missiles, K-31A supersonic anti-ship missiles, and a 30mm GSH-301 cannon for close-quarters combat. In a head-to-head match, Venezuela's Su-30s could overwhelm older fighters in Latin America. Even the F-16s they once relied on seemed like museum pieces by comparison. But here's the twist. Owning a Sukhoi is one thing, keeping it flying is another. These jets are maintenance-heavy beasts. Every flight hour requires dozens of technician hours. Under international sanctions, spare parts are scarce. Mechanists resort to cannibalizing one jet to repair another. Some aircraft never leave the hangar. The Sukhoi fleet is both a symbol of power and a glaring vulnerability. Venezuela has the capability to project force, but sustaining it drains the nation's already fragile resources. The arrival of the Su-30 fleet shook Latin America. Colombia, Venezuela's historic rival, scrambled to modernize its air force, extending the life of its seafarers' hit-and jets and pursuing deals for new fighters. Brazil accelerated its Gripen E program, while Chile bolstered its F-16 fleet. The arms race was back, and Caracas was leading it. Venezuela became the only Latin American country operating Sukhoi Flankers, placing it in an elite club with Russia, India, and China. For Caracas, this wasn't just about defending its skies. It was about showing Washington that it had other friends. But neighbors weren't the only ones watching. NATO analysts silently studied the Sukhoi's performance while the United States Navy increased patrols in the Caribbean. Latin America, often overlooked in global military strategy, was suddenly on the radar of every defense think tank in Washington. The United States wasn't going to let a Russian ally dominate its backyard. In September 2025, two Venezuelan F-16s flew dangerously close to the USS Jason Dunham in the Caribbean. Pentagon officials labeled it highly provocative. Within days, the US deployed F-35 stealth fighters to regional bases. This wasn't just a warning, it was a demonstration of unmatched American air power. The message was clear: we can see you and we can strike first. For Venezuelan pilots, this was intimidating. The Sukhoi is powerful, but the F-35 represents a new era of warfare. Stealth, data fusion, and beyond visual range dominance. Every flight over the Caribbean became a high-stakes chess match. Behind the parades and propaganda lies a grimmer truth. Many Sukhois sit grounded, cannibalized for parts. Technicians work long hours just to keep a fraction of the fleet operational. A single flight hour costs tens of thousands of dollars while Venezuela's economy reels under inflation and sanctions. Some pilots fly fewer than 50 hours per year, far below NATO standards. Skills that once made Venezuela's Air Force elite are slipping away. These jets are powerful, but their strength is as fragile as the nation's economy. Despite the struggles, the Su-30 is more than a weapon, it's a symbol. At air shows over Caracas, crowds cheer as the twin-engine giants roar low, contrails painting the sky. These jets inspire pride and fear in equal measure. For Maduro's government, every Su-30 sortie is a political statement. We are sovereign. We are strong. In a nation plagued by crisis, these aircraft provide not just defense, but a sense of identity. Venezuela's pivot from American Falcons to Russian Flankers represents a geopolitical shift. Moscow provides training, missiles, and support, gaining influence in the Western Hemisphere. China sees an opportunity too, selling radars, drones, and possibly future fighter jets. This isn't just about aircraft, it's about alliances, leverage, and power projection. The skies over Caracas are now part of a global chessboard. Can Venezuela keep this fleet airborne? Analysts are skeptical. With oil revenues shrinking and sanctions tightening, the Su-30s could become prestige pieces rather than real weapons. Yet Caracas refuses to bow. Every Su-30 that takes off is a reminder Venezuela is still here, and in an era of drones and stealth, these jets remain loud, a defiant roar in the sky. Venezuela's air power evolution is high-stakes gamble. From Cold War Falcons to Russian Flankers, its sky is still a story of defiance, survival, and pride. These jets are more than metal. They are a nation's soul roaring above a region caught between superpowers. Yet ambition is expensive and the sky is unforgiving. Will these angels of power remain airborne or become relics of a dream too heavy to sustain?